I lost my Yeti. I'm going double cup. Double cup, no lid. So I gotta drink it fast before it gets ice cold. I told myself I wasn't gonna do this morning. I said, not today. Not today, Bishop. You've got work to do. Why are you in your car? Talking to yourself. All right, I'll make it quick. And then I gotta get inside because honestly, my wife, she's coming to work. She owns the salon next door to the studio, La Morena. And she's gonna shave my head again because there's no hope. So we just keep doing that. So if she gets here and I'm talking to myself in my car and not just making comics, she's gonna be like, no, she's supportive of whatever I choose to do. She knows I'll make the right decision. Right now, I want to talk to you. The YouTube. I don't know what's happening. It's been craziness. It's been deadline after deadline, show after show. I feel like I went right from New York Comic Con to Rhode Island Comic Con to yesterday we had the holiday art walk. It was the very first time I've opened the studio to the public, and it was awesome. There were hundreds and hundreds of people that came through. For a couple weeks now, I've been just cleaning and like organizing and kind of plotting and planning to how to section off my own toys from the toys that are for sale and my art collection versus the art that's for sale. What's not for sale, what's for touching, what's not for touching. Had to make a little table to put your drinks on. The place is super clean now for the time being, so I did want to take today to kind of show you around right now. So come with me. We'll take a look around the studio. So I got this whole front area set up like a little shop now, and hopefully I'll find some time and some structure in my life to open up a little bit more often. I'm hoping to at least maybe once a week. Maybe I'll start with just kind of events, things like the art walk yesterday, or a gallery show. I'll show you the gallery in a second. I'm definitely interested in kids art classes, so who knows, everything I've got going on here, maybe this is just exit through the gift shop sort of situation, and a way to have all my stuff, things that I would normally bring to a convention or things that maybe are too large or weird to bring to a convention, just kind of readily available. So over here I've got the whatnot room, what I'm calling it for now. This originally was kind of set up as like the store section, but then the entryway was kind of wasted. I'm thinking, you know, maybe down the road, if I had a reason for people to like chill and read books, I'd like to have like a couple couches and coffee available and whatnot. But for right now, I'm on this app called Whatnot, where you can go live and do live auctions. And so I've been using this room for that. I've got some decent lights set up, pegboard on the walls for the toys. I really wanted it to be like comic book QVC or something. Let's move on to the gallery. So I've got this area set up as a sort of showcase of all my original art that is in the studio anyway, so why not? my portfolios out here. Well, not all of them, but all the Last Ronin, all the Lost Years, all of Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution, all of Drawing Blood, and all that I have left of my book, The Aggregate. And I also put the books down here so that people could see what was from what. And yeah, we got all this art on the walls as well. I just pulled these from the portfolios, but they are some of the more important pieces to me. I've got a page, my one page from Last Ronin issue 1 here, where I won't spoil it, but a certain turtle is having a dream and then wakes up, and on the next page it's revealed who the Last Ronin is. So it's a pretty special page to me. I'm credited in issue 1 as page 39 art by, they actually left my name off the cover of the first printings of issue 1 because by the looks of the Last Ronin issue by issue, I think I was considered a minor contributor on issue 1, but we were trying to tell the powers that be that, you know, like, the Last Ronin is the whole 5-issue story. It's not just the issue 1. And so in issue 2, I have that big chunk with Raph. Issue 3, I have that big chunk with Leonardo and Casey. In issue 4, of course, Donnie and Splinter. And then in issue 5, we kind of carry on this scene that you see here in page 1. Yes, I did say no spoilers, but if you paid close enough attention to the art on the wall here, you can probably figure out who the Last Ronin is. So go read the book. I've got the NECA toy art down here. These are the originals for the toy packaging. On this other wall, I've got Lost Years as well as Re-Evolution. This page is the first appearance of the next generation, the new Turtles, that I was, you know, blessed enough to be the one to get to design. Kevin asked me, or told me, that I'd be designing these new baby turtles, these 4 baby turtles. And he told me on the same phone call as when I told him that my wife and I were having our first baby. So it was pretty special time. And of course, through Lost Years, you see those baby turtles grow from 3 years old to 6 to 9 to 12. Each issue is 3 years apart until then we go into Last Ronin 2, Re-Evolution, where those new turtles are now Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it's pretty cool. So that's what you see up here. This is their first appearance, as well as some pages from Lost Years and Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution. Confusingly called Last Ronin 2 because technically it's the 3rd book, but the title in general has always been befuddling, and that's what's so special about it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution. It's crazy. We don't know, or at least we haven't announced what the next Last Ronin book is going to be called, but we're working on that right now as well. There's going to be a special thing, and then there's going to be book 3. I suppose it's book 3, but don't forget about Lost Years there in between Last Ronin and Last Ronin 2. It's all very insane. So anyway, this is where I had a little kids coloring area set up. Oh, I also had a free table in the hallway.
Christmas breakfast. I can't wait to see my presents. Mileage
picture of that, and that thing got wiped out. I should have taken a picture of it at the end of the night, but it was definitely getting picked through, and a lot of people are gonna get some BISH Art stocking stuffers this year, I think. In this room, I kind of am using it as, I guess, my war room, where I'm doing a lot of writing in here, figuring out the sequel to my book, The Aggregate. I've been working on The Aggregate book 2 since before things blew up with Ronin, since before I even got any turtle work, and since before I was working on Drawing Blood with Kevin. Everything just kind of exploded since I think I did the first Kickstarter for Aggregate book 1 in 2016, and I don't even want to look at when I did book 2, but I think it was 2018. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then that's when everything exploded in a very good way, and 2 kids and this, that, and the other thing, and it's kind of been on pause. But it is like the one project. I write it, I illustrate it, I self-publish it here at Split Decision Comics, and it's an awesome book. It's the world's first split decision comic. So like an old Choose Your Own Adventure book, you get to areas of the story where you get to decide what happens next. It had never been done in comics, and at least never done in kind of an intuitive and easy to read way. Never been done well that I have seen, I'll say that. And so yeah, at least back in 2016. And so I'm still working on book 2 of that, of course, but it's something that I get to in between everything else for now. I also use this room for any kind of arts and crafts or different kind of mediums that aren't strictly comic books, because if I'm doing commissions with like watercolor or colored pencils, or I'm trying to get weird and splatter painting and blah blah blah, it's nice to have a room like this where I don't have to worry about the cleanliness of my pages and the perfect white page with perfect lines, and you know, it's good to separate it both mentally and physically here in the real world. But really this whole space is kind of like that. So this is my corner room. Everything is kind of sectioned off into how it makes sense in my mind, and so this is where I spend most of my time, as you've seen, again, if you've been watching here on YouTube. But this is where I make the comics. So up there I've got my digital workspace with a 32-inch Wacom Cintiq drawing tablet. They don't make the 32 anymore, which is sad. So I'm riding this one till it dies. It's got some dead pixels, but it's still good. I think 27 is the biggest you can get now. I might be wrong. But in that same note, I'm trying to get more and more familiar with the iPad. And so up here on the digital, I use Photoshop, and nowadays Photoshop is pretty awesome on the iPad. It can do it just as well, if not better. It's just a matter of like your muscle memory of your hotkeys and, you know, what you're used to. There's still no easy way for like a shift, simple vertical, or shift, simple freaking horizontal, which is like brilliant when I'm here in the studio and I'm making panel borders. But that's always been annoying on the iPad. But I want to get more and more familiar with the iPad so I can really work just about anywhere. In any case, down here is the traditional desk. So everything you see over on the walls here is pretty much everything I've made since I entered this room. And I print out my roughs as I go. Putting them on the wall is great because I'm able to like kind of see what's what and where I am, and you know, what was that guy wearing, or what does he even look like, or where are we, when are we, blah blah blah, or see what kind of, you know, maybe your panel structure, whether you're repeating it too much or not enough, or you know, what's working, what's not working. It's just, again, mentally, I love seeing it all at once. So I even do my roughs that way now. I do 6 at a time or 5 at a time, depending on if there's a page 1 in there, which is, you know, a right side page versus the left, blah blah blah. But I like to see as many of them as I can at a time, and I actually put the script right there in the margin so I can see that, and there's room also for me to add in some reference. So like I'm just looking down and I have everything I need. I don't have to flip through this or flip through that or jump off my stage here and find a certain comic. I mean, sometimes I pull some stuff up that I don't have, of course, but the more you can stay there at the desk, the better, because distractions are everywhere. So yeah, down here is the traditional desk. So everything you see on the walls is my roughs. Those are the digital printouts. And then I take one to my desk for, you know, quick reference again. But the other one goes under a clean sheet of Bristol. And I click on this light box, and then I do the finals. And that's what you saw in that other room. And I do all my finals. So far, I think in comics, I've done everything you've ever seen is actually 0.5 mechanical pencil. It's just this rot ring mechanical pencil, 0.5 HB lead. I like HB. It's just standard, normal. That's what you'd find in a number 2 pencil. Fun fact, that's why they ask you to use the number 2 when you're doing those tests and you're filling in the circles, is because it's the pencil that's it's able to get dark enough to be read by the machines, but also still be erased if you make a mistake. So I think it's the perfect lead for what I'm doing. And then those would be scanned back in, cleaned up digitally a little bit, and sent off to the colorist. Out here I've got she just hit my car. I'm non-confrontational, so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna look into the sun. This coffee is freezing cold now. Been out here too long. What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, so this little area out here was meant to be kind of like a chill zone, sitting area. My dogs definitely used it as that. So most of these chairs are uninhabitable unless you want to be covered in fur, but that's fine. I've got this wall here of my art that I've collected or been gifted or cherish, and there's a lot of great pieces here. Some of the artists, of course, Kevin Eastman. We've got Mateus Santaluco, Olivier Coipel. Guy Gilchrist actually was the artist who designed the Portland Sea Dog Slugger. He also worked on Ninja Turtles and Jim Henson Muppets, so I had to get these original Sluggers from him. Who else do we have up here? This is a special Drawing Blood page because in Drawing Blood, I do the Maine art. And this, if you don't know, it's coming out through Image Comics right now, but it's the fictional true story of how the Turtles were created. But instead of Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, it's Shane Bookman and his brother Paul who created the radically rearranged Ronin ragdolls, who are samurai cats named after famous anime directors and creators. We have some flashbacks, and the flashbacks are penciled by me or roughed by me and ultimately inked by Kevin. So what you see here is like Kevin's inks over my pencils, and he also did these pages on the classic duo shade paper that they don't make anymore. And this is what they used on the original Turtle comics way back when. And it's super cool, and from what they've told me, super toxic. And you actually have to, that crosshatch pattern you see is baked into the paper, like it's like a photo emulsion kind of deal. So you use chemical 1 or chemical A to reveal like the left lines, and then chemical B to reveal the right X lines. So you've got like one level of shadow and then the second level of shadow. And I love this stuff. Kevin actually gifted me a stack of it and the chemicals. The chemicals, he was like, this is liquid gold. I said, I know. And I've used them for a number of pieces. My TMNT 100 cover, the Aggregate issue 0. This is like a prologue comic I made again for my book, The Aggregate. Switchblade, which is the Savage Dragon issue 233 backup I did, and again, that's a character I created when I was 11 years old, so that was pretty special. Anyway, that's why I like this page. There's a lot of special pieces up here. Moving along to the other side of the studio, I mentioned how this place is like manifested out of my mind of, you know, how I'd like to, you know, structure my being and my thoughts. And as soon as you come in, there's like this wall right in the center of the space that splits, you know, the creative, I guess, or the creating from the commerce and the business and things like that. So over on this side, we have all the shipping and the back stock and this is Emily's domain, and Emily is awesome. She's been with me since I think 2015 or 2016. She's in here 5 days a week, answering your emails, helping with questions. She's the Wendy to the BISH Art Kids Club here, which you can check out at bishart.net. And it's not just for kids, it's mostly people. I'd say the middle age is middle-aged. And then we do have members as old as 70 and as young as maybe 10, I think. But about 300 something members right now. It's a monthly club with quarterly boxes. And so every 3 months over here on this side, we're shipping out the BISH boxes. And that is a quarterly box, again, that is filled with, 5 or 6 or 7 different items. And there's always a big item, like a shirt or a metal comic or coloring book or calendar. We've done a lot of stuff. We're doing these canvas prints recently from covers of Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution, and those all come signed. And everything in those boxes is made specifically and exclusively just for the club. So that's the first print runs are just, first and only print runs are just for those boxes. And then, I'll have the leftovers here in the front store, and sometimes they bring some along with me to conventions. But other than the members only store, once you're a member, you can't get that stuff any other way. So that's the space. Let me know if there's something specific you saw or I didn't talk enough about that you want to know more about. This was just meant to be kind of a quick look around and kind of get the same kind of feeling that people got yesterday when they walked through. Maybe not the same feeling, but maybe a better feeling because you're comfortable at home, cozied up in your sweatpants with your coffee that is actually still hot because mine is not. And I don't know what this is going to edit down to, but I've been talking to myself for quite some time, and my wife is going to be here, and if I'm still in my car, it's not going to be good. Really appreciate you. I really appreciate you YouTube viewers who stopped by the studio yesterday. That was awesome. It's Monday. I drank this coffee really fast too though, so I think I'm ready. All right. Oh crap, there's my wife. I gotta go.